It is. Okay, we started. Yay. Yes, it's my first one. I've been really contemplating it for years
Yeah.
because I started my YouTube channel. When did I start it? Maybe 2022 or 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been contemplating it for years, and I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. Out of you can be afraid about it
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just
Just
be
do
like,
it.
I don't know if I'm gonna do it right, but what is right if you don't start?
Right. You gotta
So
learn. Right? Learn as you go.
right, right. So okay, it's recording now, so I'm gonna start off with a little mini intro. Bring the camera like there, just nope, the other way, and then down a little bit. Does it go down a little bit?
Because wait, let me put something under it, maybe. Hold on. Hold on. Excuse me. Should I put under it to make it higher?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm trying to see.
You want it, you got it. You want it.
Pick it up, son. Mm, right now. Yeah, is that better?
A little bit, but you went back over that way. There you go. Bring it back. Which way? Nope, other way. There you go. That'll work. We'll work with that. Okay,
Sit
so I'm gonna do.
down.
Yes, that'll work. So we'll do a little intro. Hi guys, my name is Ebony, and welcome to the Dialysis Coworkers podcast. I don't have a specific name for us yet. I thought about Dialysis Diamonds. I thought about the World of Dialysis, but I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Maybe I'll let y'all choose because I'm not extremely picky about that as it pertains to the name of it. I'm more particular about the context of what we're speaking about. So we're gonna, of course, be speaking about the world of dialysis. I myself am a dialysis technician. I have worked in the dialysis industry for 6 years, 6 or 7 years. I started in 2018. Um, at one point, I went off the floor for a year. I want to say in 2020, I went off the floor for a year. That was before COVID happened, and I didn't know that I would actually be off the floor. That was not my plan. I just it happened literally as soon as I left, and I was like, well, I'm gonna just stay out. And I stayed out for a year, and I was like, I gotta come back. So that's a snippet of my story. But I am here to talk to Miss Robin here. So Miss Robin, can you state your name and how you have been introduced into the dialysis world?
Well, my name is Robin. I was in dialysis for 1 year. Um, I'm a medical assistant by trade, and somebody said, "Oh, you would be great to do dialysis. They need good people. They like my energy." So I said, "You know what? Well, let me try it." So I did. I worked it for a year. However, I left.
I know you did.
It was challenging. I learned a lot. It was very
Hmm.
challenging, and for me, in the point of my life, it was very stressful, and I didn't need the stress. So I gracefully bowed out. Went back to medical assistant.
Hmm. So, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I am from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York.
Hmm.
What do you remember the chair size of your clinic?
The chair, how many?
How many chairs?
We had. It was a big clinic. 48.
Ooh,
Yeah,
48.
yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's a huge clinic. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think the
Mm.
largest clinic I've been in might have been 24 chairs. And that felt big.
Yeah, because
24, 26.
it was split, so we had one half and one half.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that's
yeah,
crazy. Hold on, I need to
okay.
close this. Let me close this door. They get
No.
crunk on me. Well, y'all, I'm still in my when you're ready. Okay. Okay. So in your 1 year, okay, so what was your training? Oh, what company were you with?
Davita.
Davita. Dun, dun, dun. So I've
Mhm.
heard mixed things about Davita. I've
Yeah.
heard like some people have been with them for 14 years and some people have been with them for like 6 months, or maybe like they start with Fresenius, then they come over to they go to Davita for more money and then they come back to Fresenius.
Mm.
I know, right? Because we'll get to that. But so, what was your training like? Do you feel like your training prepared you for the floor?
My my trainer, he was great. He was a great trainer. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's been in the business for like 20 something years, and he's a
Mm-hmm.
great trainer, very patient. However, when so to me, the training was good. However, when you finish your 12 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever it was, they say, here's your pod of four people.
Slap you out there.
Out, but I think it should be more of a slower transition because you're not only learning how to stick, you also are learning the machine. So it's
Oh,
two
say that.
you're learning at the same time, right?
Yes.
And the machine has no book. There's no manual to say if this is wrong, do this. That's the type of person I am. If this is wrong, let me look it up in the book where you do this, you do that. You got to try to figure this out on the fly. And for a newbie, it's very stressful.
Stress.
Very
Stress.
stressful. Yeah. So that, yeah. So I didn't.
So that was your training. I what was your worst day?
Oh
Do
my
you remember
gosh,
what
I
your
can
worst
tell
day
you.
was like?
Oh, oh, I can tell you that one.
Story time.
Mhm. So okay, so I have my little pod, and I have my four people. I'm trying to get them on, and one of the patients, her machine was alarming. It was beeping. And so you know when it the clamp goes down, so it stops. So they tell you if it stops, oh, you got to hurry up, get it fixed because then the blood can clot and you don't want to throw away the patient's blood. They need their blood. So now this machine is stopping. I'm pressing and I'm looking and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I turn around. My co-workers is across the way. They over there talking and laughing. They have their patients on. They
Having a
talk,
good old
laugh.
time. Whew.
I'm over there and I'm drowning. And I'm trying to figure out why is this happening? What's going on? And I'm looking and nobody is trying to help me. They just chilling. And I
Mm,
got so frustrated. And I was like, that's what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna watch me drown? Y'all gonna kiki over there? So I said, okay. And I started walking towards the door, and they was like, "Where you going?" And I said, "I'm out of here." And they said, "You can't do that." I snapped that little coat off and
oh,
said, "Watch me." And I threw the coat in the garbage, and I walked through that treatment door to the lounge, grabbed my stuff, punched out of their place, and went home.
oh,
Yeah. Because you're not gonna watch me drown and y'all sitting over there kikiing. It's not like everybody was busy. Y'all
oh
sitting
my
over there
god.
kikiing, and y'all know I was on the floor. I think this was my second week
Oh
alone,
no.
and y'all kikiing, and I'm like, hey, really? This is what y'all do here? Oh no. Okay, goodbye. Now
Rough.
y'all take all my patients. You don't want to help me with one? I said, you take all of them now. Bye. And I went home.
Wow.
Mhm.
So you said
My
that was
FA
2 weeks in.
called me.
So then how did you come back?
My FA called me later that day,
Hmm.
and she was like, "Oh, I heard." And I said, "Yeah," and I explained the whole thing, and she was like, "But don't quit." And she said, "I'll give you a couple of days. Come back and try it again. It's not so bad." And so, reluctantly, I went back, and
Hmm.
they were a little more. helpful then because they said this
More
lady.
observant and not just minding their business, like hee ha ha.
Yeah, these they was like, this lady's crazy, so let's help her with her one patient because we'll have all of her patients.
They're trying to see, and then when you say that, people will say stuff like that, but it's like, no, I'm not crazy. This is a hard. I say
Yeah.
dialysis is a hard job to work.
Mhm.
Especially, it's better if you have teamwork, but when you don't have teamwork, you are just at the corner, just literally trying to figure it out by yourself. So to not to have help available, but to not have help, like that's major. That's major. You
And
be like,
you know,
so what's the point?
and then you for all the computer stuff, and they tell you, don't lose the blood and this that. So now you feeling like, I don't want to harm somebody else,
You don't fail the
So
patient.
yeah, so this is the way I'm feeling, and you can help me not do that, but you choose not to, you know. So it's just, you feel like a whole bunch of weight on you because this is these people's lives, and I take that very seriously,
Yeah, it is very serious.
And
It's like once you get in the routine of it, it doesn't seem as serious
right,
necessarily because you already know what to look
right,
for the most part. But when you first start in, you be like,
yeah,
I don't want to kill nobody.
right.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was your worst day. What was your best day?
um when I finally got it. Like, I was able to get everybody on time, and you know the patient was just like, yeah, okay, you all right, and they're like,
Mhm.
okay, I don't mind working with you. And then they look at somebody else that's a little slow and say, oh, I don't want her. I'm glad I got you,
That's how
but
they do
I
be
was her
choosing.
before. You understand? So I'm not going to down her because I was her before.
Come
Okay,
on.
so I no, I say, we all need help, and some take a little longer than others, so we can't down the person. Long as if they come in here every day and punch that clock and get on this floor, you can't down them. They're trying, and we just,
True
if
that.
I have, once I cleared my patient, if I see somebody lagging behind, I'm over there. I'm trying to help because I remember when nobody helped me, so I try to. I'm the one that try to help someone else.
When you said it, it made me think of something I used to tell some patients that could just, if I got off for y'all sitting and it's pretty fast to where I got to the point where I'd be like, I want everybody to come in if they're there for the most part,
Right.
depending on where I'm working at. But if
Mm-hmm.
they come, then I'm like, let me let y'all sit down because some places I only have 15 minutes in between time to put them on.
Yeah, that was
So if
us.
y'all there, you can
Yeah,
come and sit down. I'll be right
right.
with you. But if they was rushing me, I'd be like, hey, it's one of me and four of you.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'll be right with you because I want to give you what you need. I don't want to rush. I want to take my
Mm-hmm.
time. I don't want to forget something because this is your life. Why would you want me to forget something? Like, why would you
Mm-hmm.
want me to rush
Mm-hmm.
to slap
Mm-hmm.
some needles in you? Like,
Right.
why would you want that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I used to tell some of them also, like, dialysis is hard on y'all and on us
Right.
because it's hard on your body because you're physically coming in getting this done to your body. It's hard on our body. We're here before you. We're
Right.
here. We wake up 2, 3 in the morning to
Yeah.
get here before you to prepare for four of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. You don't. Um.
So definitely used to tell them that if I was having one of those days where I was like, hey, back up off me, like
Mm-hmm.
stop pushing me, stop rushing me. And you be in your head trying to figure out the next move. I know me, I would be in my head trying to figure out the next move, like, okay,
Right.
what I need to do next to make this smooth and what I need to
Right.
do.
Yeah.
And then while you're in the middle of taking care of one patient, another patient, and you'd be like, hey, can you get? I'd be like, can you what?
Yes. 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 Can you do this? Can you? Yeah. All right. I'm trying. Listen, it's just me. Or they compare you to someone else. Okay. Well, you're comparing
Oh, I
yourself.
couldn't stand it.
You've been doing this for 5, 6, 7, 8. I just started. Y'all saw when I
That
came on
is
the
so
floor.
annoying.
Okay, you saw what I just got here. Y'all know I just
Just
got
got
here. So
here.
there's no way I'm gonna move as fast as someone that's been doing this for anything more than a year,
Yeah, I'm
right?
about to.
Because
Mm-hmm.
after a year, you start to feel a little comfortable. A
Mm-hmm.
little,
I was gonna ask you that. Did you feel
yeah,
like
I
they used to
did.
tell me that all the time? Like once you hit a year,
Yeah,
you're gonna feel like you know what you're doing.
yeah. Because they kept telling me that, but I felt like that. Y'all lying.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I used to say. I'd be like, a year?
Yeah,
Y'all got to be out your mind.
yeah. I
But they
said
was
no.
right.
It's no way. Because the way I feel now, I feel like I'm always feel like that, and it was rough. It was rough. It was rough. And then at our clinic, those patients were a lot of them were very brutal. Like, yeah,
Okay,
they
New
were
York.
rude. They were rude, and you know,
Mm,
and you didn't have the support of the FA, right? So they allowed to
mm,
stay and do like certain things, and so
mm-hmm.
for me, every day I'm like, oh my gosh, who am I get? Who am I get? And you want the nicer
That's
crowd.
anxious. We don't
Yes,
want anxiety. Oh my God.
yeah, that's what was happening so that I had to get out because that was me every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was your final like? Okay, this I'm a leave.
Yeah, that I didn't want to feel like that every day going to work. Like, who I'm gonna get? Oh my gosh, who's on the floor? Oh, what day is it? Is this one? Oh, I hope I don't get this one. Oh, I hope that was me. And you shouldn't have to go to work like that, being anxious.
Listen,
You're gonna get.
I had one patient I remember. There's many situations I can name, but I won't
Yeah.
forget. This one patient came in. She was like, "Oh, I got you." I said, "You can go home,"
Mm.
because I had been taking care of her,
Right.
but particular staff member, had been spewing. I'm gonna
Mm.
call it spewing
Yeah.
their venom and sowing
Yeah.
their poisonous,
Yeah.
wicked seeds. And I was still new, maybe within like 6 months, if maybe 6 months to a year. And I
Hmm.
had been dealing with this lady, and sometimes she just would have an attitude for no reason. She would just always act funny anyway, which is fine because I'm new. Okay, I
Right.
get it. But if ain't nobody else, then I was just like, you can't go home because that particular day I didn't want to deal with that.
Hmm.
Right when she said it, and mind you, she need my help to get to her chair. So, and I believe in everybody don't believe in this. I believe in confronting things, and you can respectfully say things. Now, somebody might not think that's respectful, okay? But
Hmm.
I just was like, do you feel like it's respectful for somebody to tell you, ugh, you
Yeah.
here, you gonna stick me? Like, what I'm supposed to do with that?
Right.
Like, yes, I'm here. I'm here at work to pay these
Right.
bills. All right.
Right.
Do you want to be stuck or not? Do you want dialysis today or not? I would
Yeah.
love to take care of you and make sure you're straight. So she was like, okay. And so I just hooked onto her arm and
Yeah.
so how
Yeah.
was your weekend? Like I
Mm.
just carried on. Like I ain't
Yeah.
hold it against
Right.
her.
It doesn't
No,
work
I
that
just
way.
knew, and because sometimes now people might disagree with me, but I feel like some of them are mentally ill, even though they look normal
Right.
or
Right.
whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The toxins in their body, they come in
Yeah.
meat, they leave out nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So some mornings, most mornings I can take it. Some mornings I'm like,
Yeah. You're human. Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. And
You
my
know,
my trainer, it was a guy who he's so miserable,
oh,
but
see, ooh, talk about it.
he was so miserable. So it was a day where someone didn't come in, and I wasn't supposed to be on my own, but I was towards the end of it anyway. So
Mm,
he had,
poor
and he
staff.
said, you have to take these people, and I'm like, wait, what? And so okay. So when it came to the guy, I looked around. My trainer was gone.
Mm.
My preceptor was gone, and so I said, all right, Mister So and So. I took his weight. He took his weight, and then he told me what his weight was, and I had made a mistake. Right, I had the wrong chart, and so I said, oh,
Ooh, done that
I,
before.
I said, oh no, your weight was this, so you're over by whatever. He goes, no, and he started yelling and going on. So then I looked again, and I said, oh, my fault. I had the wrong. Oh, you're trying to kill me.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
you're trying to kill me. I said, I'm not trying to kill you. I said, I didn't even touch you yet. So how am I trying? Oh,
Ain't no talking to those type of patients.
mm-hmm. He carried on. He
You
carried on.
literally have to just be quiet and
So
then
he carried on, and I said, oh, I don't want you to touch me. I said, okay, not a problem. I said, but what you gonna have to do is if you want anybody else to touch you, you're gonna have to wait till they finish with their patients. So you're gonna sit there. I'm gonna go on over here to these other people and help
mhm.
them, ones that want help. You sit there and wait. So my trainer was gone. So he's complaining, complaining. So then another girl came over and then she goes to stick him. She stick him, she put him on, and then she goes about her business. Then I
Mhm.
look at his arm, his tape is coming up. His tape is coming up. So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh,
He don't want you to touch him.
right. So I said, Mr. So and so, you tape. Oh, she tried to do. See, she put the tape. She didn't tape me down. She trying to kill. I said, do you mind if I put some, tape? Oh,
Mm.
okay, you can do it. All right. Put it.
Everybody look. So then you realize it's not you. Everybody trying to kill him,
Yeah.
and
And then
not.
later on, we wound up being,
Yes, they end up
oh,
apologizing. I've had that with many patients. They be like, "I'm sorry
mhm,
for the way." She apologized at one point. The lady
mhm,
that I mentioned because she
mhm.
was nasty every other day. Um, but she apologized at one
Yeah,
point. And when I first started, because I didn't know what I was doing, you're still in your head trying to figure
yeah.
out everything.
You're
So
doing
patients
that.
would say stuff, and so sometimes it would get to me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it wouldn't, because I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing." Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I remember telling like we were our coworkers, we was hanging around the what's them things called? The little they call it a nurses station. I'd be like, the text be over
yeah.
here, but whatever.
Right.
But the station, the coworkers,
Mm-hmm.
the staff station.
Right,
So
right,
we were
right.
hanging around and we were talking, and I remember saying, like, yeah, I made mistakes. I was like, and I'm gonna make more. And one of the I call them OG texts was like, she was like, don't say that. I said, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
How can I say I won't make more mistakes when you've been doing this 20, 25 years?
Mm,
I've only been doing this less than a year.
right,
I'm
right.
gonna make more mistakes. And
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
yeah.
Like, I'm okay with that. Do you feel like the money was worth the work?
No, absolutely not.
What was your
Ab-
starting pay?
we started at 17,
That's not
and
bad.
yeah, and then
I mean, it's still not a lot, but
was 22.
okay, New York moved different. Georgia be snailing it.
Yeah, but then that time they gave them a pay bump, so it was like
That's a
22.
big pay bump.
Yeah,
19,
no,
that's
20.
$5.
It was 21.
Still $4. That's a big pay bump though.
Yeah.
Georgia be trying to do a dollar a year, and I'd be like,
Mm,
bye, bye. I'm quitting. Bye. Like, I started with first thing is with 15. No, it was 14. I just so
mhm.
happened to come at a time where the clinic was getting a merit, like, they had been
Okay.
audited and all the other stuff. So my manager at the time, I knew her, and she was like, "Hey, I asked the DO, if I could give you a raise because we have extra money." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." So then I went from like 14 something to 15 something. And then before I got my CCHT, I was at 16 something. It just felt like
Yeah,
turtle
right.
speed
It's
to
turtle.
make some decent money. Like,
Yeah, and that was the thing. People kept saying, "Oh, you get into dialysis, you can make decent money." However,
I'm like, where?
yeah, because I was like, I took a pay cut to work this job, right?
Mm,
I did because I, felt like I'm doing something new and different, right? So it's new, different,
mm-hmm,
start small, and then you can climb. They saying you can do overtime and you can, work
oh,
at different
God.
clinics and this and that and
Yes. Now that's where the money's at. So it's
yeah,
like you have to be strategic about making the money. So whether it's okay, becoming a preceptor, whether it's like I said, unfortunately, company hopping. So going to another company, then going to another, like each company is gonna give you a different raise.
Right.
I know when I left Fresenius, the company I went to after them, I got a $6 raise, but that was because I became a floater.
Okay.
So I think without becoming a floater, I don't know if I would have got that, which is crazy. But I know
Mhm.
one of my friends who travels now, she ended up um, leaving Fresenius and went to a private place, and they paid her $6 more without floating.
Oh,
But it was one of the worst clinics she's ever worked at. So I just talked to her the other day,
wow.
and she was saying how she will not go back because she was like, it's not. She said they paid me the most, but it was not worth the money.
Mm.
And honestly, the most, I don't know, like I used to say after 6 months, I should get a couple dollar raise. So I like the $4 raise, but after 6 months of me starting, I should get a $4 raise because
Mm.
for me, once I hit 6 months, I was opening, I was closing,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was bleaching, I was disinfect,
Well, bleach and disinfectant, everybody had to do that at
I
our.
was granule flow. I mean, we all did, but what I'm saying is
Yeah.
if you first start, the job is stressful in itself. So if I
You're right.
you're supposed to do it anyway, but the fact that I'm doing it consistently,
Mm-hmm.
I should be getting paid extra now that I've learned these extra things because it'd
Right.
be
You
one thing
should.
if I said I wasn't going to do it. Now, the crazy thing was the clinic that I had started at, it was a tech there who had been doing dialysis for many, many years. I probably had 20 some years.
It's
Um,
1 second. I'm
sure.
sorry. Okay.
So man.
I'm gonna call you back.
No.
Sorry. Yeah. Back. What's the matter? Hello. Hello. You frozen. You frozen. Hello. Oh, mm, okay.
Um, oh Lord,
Hey.
I ain't gonna give me no warning. The computer just died.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm back. Are you good?
Yeah.
You sure? Uh oh. Oh, so I was saying how at my 6 months, I had to learn. I had learned how to do everything, but then it came down to like closing the kitchen. I mean, closing the kitchen, closing
So,
the
center.
clinic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a tech that had been there before me, way months before me, who was never closing the clinic. So when my manager
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, because she knew me, she was like, can you do it? And I said, well, she needs to learn how to do it too. We all need to rotate closing this clinic. And that lady gave her such a fight, but eventually she had to do it because I was like, that's not fair. I just got here
Right.
and I'm going to do it because you're asking me and because I know you, but that's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she been here longer than me. She should have been doing it.
The guy who's been there the longest, he would open like every morning that he worked, he was an opener. And then they
We
would
had someone that
switch.
came along like that. He would open. He would only open.
Yeah,
If
he's
he
not closing.
closed, yeah,
No,
if he closed, it's because he taught somebody. But
yeah,
other
no.
than that, he would open, and it worked out. Honestly, in a way, it worked out. If he was off, then we might rotate it around, but
Right. So that's
it
what happened.
worked out because he was on time. Ooh, was you ever late,
No,
girl? I was,
no, no. Only,
especially when it was like really hard. Oh my god, I had to get used to that time.
no. I would get up and do what I had to do. I was never late, but other people was late, and we was calling them. Hey, what happened to you? Or
Listen,
at my clinic, you come to work and you ain't on the schedule. You was on one schedule, but then when you like, so you're on the main schedule, right?
mm-hmm,
And then when you come in, the floor schedule, your name ain't on
mm-hmm.
it. You mean to tell me I done got up early in the morning and my name ain't
Early.
this? I'm like, you gonna pay me because I ain't going nowhere.
Oh my god,
You paying me? I ain't leaving.
that's
Mm-mm,
crazy.
mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to new techs?
Woo. You when you in training, take it very seriously. Learn everything you can.
That was loud. Okay, when you're in training, take it very serious.
Learn everything you can. Pay close attention to how different people do things. Don't just sit there when you're not, like, if you're not engaged with your trainer, preceptor. You could be watching somebody else because you can pick up pointers from different people. It's not
Mm-hmm.
one way to do things, right? And so maybe the way your trainer's training you, maybe that's not the way that's going to work well for you. You can look at other people and glean a little bit from this one, from that one, and yeah, pay. Because I had people that would get on their phone. No, 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 you shouldn't be on your phone. You should
Oh
be
my god!
with
As a trainee, I was not on my phone unless my
Mhm.
preceptor was on their phone.
Right,
Other than that, I'm not on my phone because I didn't know what else to do.
right.
So
A lot of sitting. So for dialysis, it's like crazy, 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 crazy,
like 3 hours.
and then you sit, and then you sitting, and you sitting, and you sitting, and then crazy, 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 and then you go
That's so
back.
true.
Yeah,
What do
and
you
that's
think makes
it,
the job the I'm sorry, what were you saying?
and that's it. That didn't work for me
Hmm.
because once you get everybody on, you made packs. If they gave you a little job to do, like if you had to make the bleach water or check
Mm-hmm.
the glucometer, little stuff like that, or
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't. that's not something that takes long. So you're doing a lot of sitting, and
I like
that
to do with a break. I'm like, let me go to break. As soon as I put my patient on, are you going to break? Let me go.
well, the way they had it scheduled out, like breaks don't start until 6:30.
I ain't
You,
like that. Don't
I,
tell me when to go to break. If all my patients is on, I want to go to break.
yeah, so by 6:30, 7:30, the three times that you could go. Um,
But that does keep things orderly.
yeah, yeah, but it was too much down sitting, and that
Really?
in the morning, then it makes me sleepy.
Who you telling? There's plenty of days I'll be like, I'm here, y'all. I promise I can hear everything. What you need? I'm here. I promise I'm here. But or
Oh,
I find
them patients were telling you.
oh no, not only that, they can tell all they wanted to. I was telling them myself, like, honey, I'm tired. When I first started, I don't know, I don't think I was falling asleep as much because I would take a nap on my break.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember it was times where my coworker's sitting there, gone,
Mm-hmm.
sitting up, sleep. What you want them to do? They're not doing nothing. And now me, I can still hear you because I could hear everything. I had like my ears tuned to the floor
Yeah.
to be able to hear anything out of the ordinary at
Right.
any time.
Yeah.
And that's not to toot my own horn, but I just had learned that because our clinic that I came from, the last clinic I was at with Fresenius, was very short. Had got to the point where it would be very short staff.
Mm.
So I was one of the main techs. So as the main tech,
Yeah.
like I got my eyes and ears open because we always got floaters and travelers
Yeah.
in here. So I have to be on
Mm-hmm.
alert at all
Mm-hmm.
times.
Mm-hmm.
So where it's like, I hear that patient grunting.
Mm-hmm.
Are you cramping?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why you ain't say nothing?
Right.
I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
you want me to intervene here? They'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
but if you're not in tune and listening, you
Yeah.
can't hear. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah. You had the short staff thing. We were overstaffed.
Mm.
We were overstaffed, and people wasn't getting many days. Sometimes you would get 2 days for the week. What I'm doing
It's
with two,
crazy.
what I'm doing with 2 days? I'm a whole adult.
Whole adult with whole bills,
Oh, oh, hello. So I was like, no.
family and all.
Listen, I said I gotta get something that. But she said, oh, you can make more money if you go floating
Yeah,
around.
floating you do make more money because I floated. We did three. We had 3 days. We worked Monday, Wednesday, Friday at our main clinic, and then I would
Mm-hmm.
float because our clinic was so short staffed. We had managers coming from everywhere.
Mm,
Every person that walked in the door, I got their phone number.
wow.
I still got their phone number in my phone, and I would say, "Hey, do you need help this day?" Like I was
Mm-hmm.
scheduled out. I had a planner. I was scheduled out. Like I'm gonna work these days, work these days. Like I had put my own schedule together, and so by the end, like I was floating around, but I wasn't a floater. But
Mm-hmm.
I was getting the mileage. And so when I
Yeah.
went to another company as a floater, I went to US Reno as a floater.
Mm-hmm.
And with US Renal, I got the floater differential
Right. Right.
and mileage.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I didn't just get like they have a base pay and then you get the
Mm-hmm.
percentage and you get the mileage on top of that.
Yeah.
But when I
Well.
first came, they had it a little different. But sometimes you don't make as much money. So honestly,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of why I left because I was like,
You're right.
y'all, they switched how they were paying to the way that Fresenius was paying. I'm like, if I wanted
Okay.
that, then I would have stayed with Fresenius.
You were right.
Y'all be trying to do the same thing. You need to
Yeah.
stay different and you'll keep employees if you stay different. You ain't gotta be like these other companies.
Right.
Now, should you do certain things like Fresenius? Absolutely. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they have better training, as I've also heard from other people who's been from DaVita and all these other companies. I've asked multiple people and they feel like Fresenius has the best training, depending on who you have as a trainer.
Sorry. It's my husband.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh.
No, I didn't find anything.
You.
You gonna do that one?
I need like a little bit more salt. This little strap.
I'll call you back. Lord,
Okay, no problem. No problem. I forgot what I was saying now.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You gave any advice? Would you go back?
No.
No, never ever. Would you go to another part in the dialysis industry? Like, would you work for like a nephrologist office, vascular office?
Yeah, that would be fine. But I mean, the pace of dialysis and the stress, and maybe not. I don't know, but it seems like because I'm also part of a Facebook group for dialysis, and it
Hmm.
seems like most people complain.
A lot of complaining.
Yeah, and I just can't, like, people stay in the industry for a long time, and I can't work somewhere where I'm not happy.
I understand.
I can't. But I won't say anything was wasted. You
Mm,
know, any experience was wasted. I wouldn't say that.
Would you
I'm
encourage
I,
others to do it?
I'm glad I did it,
Mm-hmm.
and that was one of the hardest things that I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, know what you're getting into before you do it, right? So
I don't think you can know though until
no,
you step out there.
no, you
What
know
would you need to
that
know before you get into it?
if you read them comments on them Facebook stuff,
I know, but I'm asking you, what would you want to tell? What would you tell yourself
if I
when you
saw
start?
that, I wouldn't have done it. If I saw
Mm.
the way the people complained about it, how stressful it is, and
Mm-hmm.
then you also have dialysis bullies, your own
Ooh,
dialysis
I
bullies.
can't stand them. So people try to do stuff, and I either ignore them or really strong, so that made them feel even worse.
Yeah,
Um,
like
or every now and again, like I was having a situation and I remember my manager saying, well, they say nurses eat their young. And I was like, well, the young bite back. Like, you ain't finna eat me. Like,
like
I'm not having that. We not about that life. And I used to always say, what grade are we in? Most of y'all are older than me.
mm-hmm,
You're too old with children and all to be acting the way you be acting. And I say acting, not even acting,
right.
acting. You acting a plum fool.
So we had
And
one girl. She
oh,
was
it's crazy.
we called her nice. I called her nice nasty.
Mm,
So she would act like she's nice, but really being nasty. And she liked to embarrass you and point out your mistakes in front of patients.
mm.
Oh, why you didn't do this? Why does that look like, why are you doing that?
What grade are we in?
Hello.
Like, why are you jealous? Like, we all making the same. We're here to make money.
You want people to say you're great, right? Uh,
Yes. Oh,
that's what it is. You want people to feel like you're
the
great.
insecurity. So, and I
Yes,
will
that you
say
have.
it puffs a lot of people up, especially once you get real good at cannulating.
Mhm.
Oh, and once you like get your system down,
Yeah.
like it puffs you up. But there were days, I remember one day puffing myself, like you just feel good, like, yeah, I got everybody on and had no problem with my sticks. The next day was horrible.
Yeah.
I
Yes. Yes.
just
Yes.
learned, you know what? Today was a good day.
Today was a good day.
Today was a
My
good day, and we're not gonna boast about it. We're good.
right.
Today was a good
Right. My
day.
babe would be like, "How is it there?" I'm like, "I hate it. I hate it." Then it got to the
I've
point
had
where
those days too.
it's not so bad. And she's like, "What? What did you say? It's not so bad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, today wasn't bad. It wasn't bad." And it got to be more of those. It's not so bad. Than it was so bad. So she
Mm.
was like, "Okay, you said it's not." So she was feeling good until I hit her in the head that I was leaving, and she was like, "Well,
Yeah,
why
because
are you leaving?"
it's a wave that happens. It goes from like, okay, it's not so bad, and then that one bad day can make you be like, I quit. I remember leading up to me quitting the first time, like leaving the floor the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was so many things happening, so much drama and stuff that I was not even a part of. Like I did not even respond. Like when you talk about the bullies, I did not respond to them,
Mm-hmm.
but they talked to literally almost everybody. And so because they did that, people would say, well, I don't know what you and such going on. I said, we don't have anything going on because
Mm-hmm.
I don't even talk to this person. I had one of the my coworkers call me one day and say, how do you deal with her? Because she had turned on her. I said, I never became her friend. I never wanted to become her friend. I never tried to become her friend. I
Right.
didn't come here to make friends. Mind you,
Right.
this lady's way older than me. And I
Mm-hmm.
told her also, I said, you be acting like her sometimes. And she was like, she was so quiet on that phone. I'm like, you be acting like her sometimes. And that's why I I have a boundary on the internal boundary. Like I'm nice. I'm not nice Nancy, but I'm nice. But once I see, y'all been talking, oh, okay. Oh, she hates me. Literally. And that's what the lady told me. She
Mm-hmm.
said, she told me that she hates you. Like she started telling me everything the lady was saying. I was laughing. I said, I know. I'm like, I know, but you think I deal with her because she talks to you so much about me, but I actually do. The way I deal with her is I treat her like a coworker. If something's going on with her patient, I let her
Right.
know. even though she can't stand my guts.
Right.
I let
Right.
her know. And because it's not about you. This job is not
Right.
about you. It's not
Right.
about your
Or
insecurities. It's not about what you need, a pat on the back, whatever. Something's going on with your patient. I don't care how long you've been doing this, something's going on with your patient. Because when you
right.
leave that floor, I'm gonna have to deal with that
Yeah.
accordingly. So yeah, I can't stand the bully situation. So it's just I respond differently depending on the person that's trying to bully. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember just getting so many, just the confirmation of it because she started bullying this particular lady that was her friend at one point. Then she ended up getting either fired or they just basically like told her you got to find somewhere else to work. They probably, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they fired her, but they was like, you got to find somewhere. Like, are you? I was walking past the administrative office one day, the clinical manager, because we had got another one. Walking
Mm-hmm.
past the office and heard them having a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And and they were black. So, in this particular clinic manager was the one that's gonna get with you.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked her, she said, all I heard was, "Are you bullying people?" And then I hear, "No, no, no." And I was like, you got to have the right one to get them
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was a many a days that I told the previous clinical manager, I was like, because I wouldn't confront her like that on the floor because she never said things directly to my
To
face.
you. Yeah.
Yes. So I was like, all right, all right. So I would always tell the clinic manager, I'd be like, call her in the office. Let's
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you ain't got
Yeah.
to do all that yep to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And these people don't even know me. You don't even know me.
Right.
But you're saying that to them. But me being quiet was the best thing for me because
Yeah.
people ended up seeing.
How she was. Yeah.
Ooh, and then I had patients apologizing. I had staff apologizing. One of her best friends,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 or 3 years later, we happened to be working at the clinic together because people were floating to our clinic. That
Yeah.
lady came and she was pouring her heart out,
Mm-mm.
apologizing. She apologized almost every day we worked together.
Oh, wow.
And because when I tell you they tried stuff, they were trying to do stuff, and it's like emotionally, I think spiritually, not to go into depth with that, but when I think spiritually, it's like the enemy will try to keep chipping, chipping,
Yes.
chipping,
Yes.
chipping,
Yes.
and he'll try every which
Mm-hmm.
way, and they just couldn't get me to the point of like when someone did say to me, they was like, it just seemed like it doesn't bother you. I was like, it does bother me, but I have a mentor. I have somebody I go talk to. And then when I come in here, shoulder square back,
Yes.
head is
Yes.
high,
Yeah.
I'm good. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna see that you
Mm-hmm.
have
That it brought that
irritated.
effect. Yeah.
Yeah, like did it affect me? Yes, but it was it was hard at the time sometimes because it's like you don't want to come into work and deal with it. I already got to learn all this stuff,
Yes.
but it was one of the best things because you really learn how to deal with people. I think you really
Mm-hmm.
learn how to deal with people in dialysis. Either you learn how to deal with them or you stay emotional and then you just can't deal with nothing, or um you just zone in. Like I have a friend, one of my friends that I used to work with, like she zones in, she just people be saying and doing all kind of stuff. I'd be like, girl, I would not be taking that. And she just be like, you don't even matter. She be like, I'm just whatever. Sometimes she'll say stuff, but she's always nice and kind and sweet. And honey, I definitely had my days where I was like, if you don't back up off me, we're gonna
Yeah.
have a
Yeah. Yeah.
problem. Like
Especially when you are trying to learn and then you don't need
yes,
stress. You already feeling the weight because I'm trying to stick these people right. I'm trying this machine keep going off. I don't know what's going on, this, that, and then you want to act crazy. Really? You
that I
really?
think that runs a lot of people. Matter of fact, that particular lady that was bullying people, she ran a lot of people off until we got somebody that was like that got toe to toe with her and was
Yeah.
like, "You're not going to be doing this."
Yeah. Because
So
that lady, she tried she bullied quite a number of people, and then one girl, she was new, she was training, and she bullied her, and she was like, look, because she was the FA's pet, but the girl said, listen, this if you don't get something done with her, I'm gonna go over your head because it's enough.
yes, it's ridiculous. Like how old are we?
Right.
I was in my 20s at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my early 30s now. But how old are we?
Right.
Like you're too I'm looking at you. Actually, I want to learn from you. And so a lot of people I learned, they were irritated about being a preceptor or they just didn't have the capacity to be a preceptor
Mm-hmm.
because they might have did it years ago and they're like, I'm done with that. I'm not doing it no
Yeah,
more. Because it takes a lot to be a preceptor.
it does.
But go ahead.
But at Davita, they get $1 extra
That's not enough money.
per. So if you're dealing with me for 3 hours, you get $3. It's not all the time.
You
Although
should get it all the time because when you're done with your 12 weeks, guess what? I'm still
they still,
precepting you.
that's right. But
The
it's
training doesn't stop. That's when it starts.
right. So that's what my preceptor would say. He said it's silly because I'm always precepting. People are always
Always.
asking me, so and so, could you come over here? So and so, could you come over here? Could you
Whether
look at
it's a nurse or a
it?
tech, that's the part. If you're a tech, you still training nurses and techs.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it didn't make sense the way they. So then people didn't want to be bothered with precepting
Yeah,
because
they did it. And so I would watch people quietly. Like, I'm gonna watch you. I might be sitting down. I'll watch you um instead of hovering over because
hmm
some people don't like that, and I get it.
yeah, it makes them
So
nervous.
I learned to really watch people quietly. I would watch what they do, how they move, how they did their
hmm
dialyzer. So I'll stop getting air in minds.
Oh my
Like
gosh! Oh,
you done had some flashbacks.
that
That
air,
air in the dialyzers will make you quit right
like what?
there. Cause you're like, how do I get this out? Over time, I learned I flip it to the red. Before the patient gets on, I make sure the air is out because
Yes,
once you put
yes,
them
yeah.
on,
They showed
it
me tricks
is
afterwards. But for a while,
yeah. That was my thing. For a while, people didn't show me, and I was like, and then you running over here trying to help me, but why you just didn't show me how to get it out
thank
before
you.
I hooked them up?
Yes, yes, yes. Even my FA, she was a tech before, so And
Oh my
wait a minute, you got air. Yeah, and we gonna.
god. Oh my gosh, so much I can say about that. Well, Robin, it has been very, very good to talk to you. I'm glad you got in and experienced a little world of dialysis. And honestly, glad you got out too, because I mean, it's honestly not for everybody
Right.
long
Yeah.
term. I
Yeah.
believe, I know I used to say all the time as I was like planning my exit at the time, I was like, Lord, I was praying. I was like, God, somebody got to do this job, but I just can't do this right now. But
So
I was like, somebody has to do this for these patients.
right. So do you plan to stay in dialysis?
So I'm currently an office manager slash CCHT for a company
Oh, cool.
that does staff assistant hemodialysis.
Oh.
So I really like that because it's a concept that popped in my head when I was working on the floor consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I was talked to patients that were younger or not even younger but older but wanted to be home but they didn't want to do it the what they call it HD way or HHD way where they get taught to stick themselves, they get taught to
Right.
set machine, a next day machine or whatnot, and then they are on their own. But with
Yeah.
this company, the nurse comes to the house, they set up their machine, they have a hemodialysis machine, they set
Okay.
up their machine, they do their lab, they do everything for them. So really the patient doesn't have to do anything unless they want to.
Oh, cool.
So I'm with that company right now. They do have a clinic, um, but we're not like using it to its full effect right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we did, like we're not starting at 3 and 4 in the morning.
Right. Right.
I would
Right.
say I don't mind doing it, but I don't want to do it on the traditional terms.
Okay.
Because in the end I liked parts. I liked many parts about it, but I was like, some of this got to go.
Yeah.
Like having to get up that early. First, I used to be like, well, how are you gonna get the people in? But some clinics open at like 6 something, and I was good on those days.
Yeah. We
But
opened at 5 and they
yeah,
stayed till midnight.
no, ma'am. But how many patients? That was what you said, 38. How
No,
many
we had
chairs?
40, 48.
40, 48 chairs. Oh, I ain't right chairs. Yeah, that's crazy.
We stay
Like
open till
somebody, but it's like some, my prayer is somebody has to do it.
yeah,
So
somebody
that's
has
why
to.
I often pray, like, Lord, give the people the strength that has to do it that way,
Yeah.
but it won't be me.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah.
say that. So right now I'm learning the back end type of stuff. And
That's good.
honestly, that could be frustrating because I am, I feel I'm more clinical. I have, of course, more years of clinical experience.
Yeah.
So that's easier. That's like first nature.
So
There's
now
nothing.
you get now this is your
Yeah.
time.
So now I'm like, ugh, because I having to learn all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, honey, some days I think about it, but then I'll be like, the way my life, personal life at the time is set up, like that schedule does not work for my life right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
or probably ever again in the future.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. And then sometimes you go in for 10 hours and they try to trick you into staying for 15.
ooh, I used to cut up.
Oh God. But listen, I told the lady when the first time she tricked me, and she's like,
Mm,
oh, 'cause I was supposed to get off at 3. She was like, oh, just stay till 5. Now
no,
we're supposed to come until 5, right? No,
ooh,
until 7. And the next, I said, listen, when I went in her office, I said, listen to me. I'm older than all of y'all here, okay? All of y'all, except for my trainer. We about the same age. I ain't no little kid.
mm.
All them hours, that ain't gonna work for me. My
Honey, it don't
mind
work for the
starts
young
shutting
neither.
down. It starts shutting down. I cannot.
Honey, it don't work for the young neither. I'm trying to tell you. Them
Like,
hours, I mean, me, it's like I used to cut up because I'm like, if you don't mentally tell me ahead of time, then if you don't tell me ahead of time, then I'm not mentally prepared. I'm ready to get
right.
off at this time, and this is the time.
Yeah.
If I don't get off at this time, I'm mad, I'm cutting up.
Mm-hmm.
So I had times like that. And I remember my boss, one of the last conversations I had with my floating boss, she was like, are you asking to leave early? I said, yes. I said, that's a reasonable question to ask. What time do I go home?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a reasonable question. That should not be foreign. There should be nothing
Right.
wrong with me asking you that question.
Right.
And if you have a
Yeah.
problem with asking that question, then you got a problem with yourself because you wouldn't even stay
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
that. And if you would, then maybe you got support or whatever you got at home, but you don't know what's going on in my personal life. And I
Right.
do not have to disclose what's going on for me to tell you. I need to know what time I go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every
And
time
then
I go to work.
for them, they would do that long stretch and then have you come back
Oh no.
ear- early
I
in the morning.
heard that a lot of people got that a lot of people got that, and some people, I mean, some of their best techs at some of these clinics quit because of stuff like that. And it
Yeah.
was like, why would you schedule me? I
Mm-hmm.
worked, or they would open and close, so they would be there from 4 in the morning to 10, 11 at night. They would open and close, but then be back the next day.
Mm-hmm.
They would say, why would you schedule me? To me, the question is not why would you schedule me, because
Why would you
because
allow?
then you say we was, yeah, then you say we was adults, we adults, we grown.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you allow it?
Yeah.
Because who's
Because
gonna do it? If I did it one time,
mm-hmm.
after that one time, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm gonna let you know I cannot
Right.
physically, mentally do that. If you want the safety of these patients, you will not schedule me that way.
I, I told her, I said, listen, after that, she did it one more time. And I said,
Ooh.
listen to me. The next time you have me doing that, I'm walking out after my 10 hours. I cannot, like my whole body is sore. I
Yes, you be
cannot,
hurting. It take you
I
days
cannot,
to recover.
yes, I cannot do this. I'm old. I cannot.
I'm young, but I think I have a previous car accident injuries.
Hmm.
Like I have rods in my legs and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I think that maybe that plays a part in, because it literally would take.
Yeah,
I
because
tell people it would take a week to recover. So sometimes I got to the point where I would take a week off if I could. If I had
mhm,
enough PTO, I'm taking that week off. And
Yeah.
then, but really, I felt like I needed two because that whole week you catching up on sleep and
Yeah.
you are resting your body. The
Yeah.
next week, now I can do stuff.
Right. Right.
But I would at least try to take at minimum a week off, and be intentional about sleeping, resting,
Yeah.
napping, eating,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it was physically could be like overbearing,
Mm-hmm.
just so you can't get anything done. Like,
True. It's true.
and this is
And
coming from, like, I'm like, again, I'm young, like, I don't say my age a lot, but I'm 32. I'm
right.
young, and I was just like, no, like,
Mm-hmm.
started going to the chiropractor, like, and I probably needed it anyway because, again, my previous car
Right.
accident injuries,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to have to also need it for this job. Like,
Yeah.
it was just too much. Like, I was literally getting like knots up here. I
Mm-hmm.
remember after 6 months, because you're constantly doing this,
Mm-hmm.
my rotator cuff and stuff,
Mm.
it started like to tear.
Oh wow.
Ooh, when I tell you, I was crying. I was like, and so I got a
From
hold of that,
a
but ooh,
tall lady. I'm very tall.
yeah, I'm
And
tall too.
it's a low. So you're bending down to stick.
Mm, got to use them kneecaps. I used to use a stool, and people would make comments to people that use stools, but I was like, "You not in their body, you don't know what they got to do." Like,
Yeah.
as long as my skill set is performed efficiently and in excellence, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if I stand or sit, as long as it gets
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I would have a stool. I would use both. I wouldn't always sit because sometimes I felt like that would slow me down.
Yeah, yeah.
so, so I
Yeah.
felt like it was slowing me down, but sometimes I would sit because I'm like, my back,
And
my
then I
back, my legs.
kind of spread open wide and kind of crouch a little bit so I'm not
Mhm.
bending so much. So I tried to figure out a different
You
way.
have to do all kind of
Yeah.
body mechanics,
Yeah. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
kind of body mechanics.
But this has been nice. It's finally
Yes,
had to speak with you. Been,
I know.
following you and like, oh wow, look, every time you had something, I was like, oh, what's she talking about today?
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for following me. And it's encouraging because it's like, am I doing this? Am I supposed to be doing this? Like, but I really want to hear people's stories because I didn't know anything about dialysis until I started working dialysis.
Yeah.
So it's like we're like this lost world
Yeah.
that, nothing against cancer, but everybody talks about cancer, but
Right.
dialysis and cancer are right in our neck and
Yeah.
neck.
Yeah. I
They
did
really
take
are.
prior to
You took a
doing
what now? Say that
a
again.
class prior to doing dialysis. I took an
Hmm.
online course, but prior,
Oh,
yeah. So it was a guy. He was a piece tech, and he taught the class, and he would give us his little insight or whatever. But again, it's nothing like you actually doing it.
you don't know nothing until you get out there with them four
No.
patients. Like you
Mm-mm.
throwing it, ooh, they throw you in there, you be like, I know
Yeah.
you lying.
Right. Right. Even being with your preceptor, that's a whole
When
different
you
thing.
get on your own, it's a whole nother ball
It's
game.
a whole different thing. You like for real? It's really ghetto out here.
Get
I
get to. Get to for real. But yes, again, it has been great. We could definitely talk again and tell the people. So I appreciate you for letting me in on your experience of the world of dialysis. And I hope you have a great day. Bye,
go back.
y'all. Hope y'all have a great, awesome day. If you're
Bye.
watching, make sure you let us know what you thought about Robin's experience. Did you have the same experience? Did you only last a year? How long did you make it? All right, Robin. Bye. Bye. Okay, I don't know what to do with that.